Well, you have to ask, how much failure will Victorians tolerate before they rise up and get rid of the financially incompetent, religiously intolerant and politically treacherous government led by Premier Daniel Andrews? Andrews knows he's on the nose. He didn't appear at the AFL Grand Final last month, nor does he dare appear in public for fear of copping an angry and thoroughly justified spray from an otherwise decent and hard-working punter who has lost everything in the pandemic lockdown, or because of some other policy that favours big business and unions at the expense of the little guy. Here's Andrews making a rare appearance outside, courtesy of Reignite Democracy Australia. The appearance was to take a photo in his electorate with some of his few local supporters. The whole thing lasted not much more than a minute. Look how quick and stage managed it is, and how prepared Andrews is with protection and a getaway car. How can a man who feels so unsafe on the streets of his own state be leading in the polls for an election in 7 weeks? To get an answer to that, let's bring in Gideon Rozner from the Institute of Public Affairs. Gideon, welcome.
Great to be here as always, my friend. Great to see you.
Gideon, there's talk of Andrews being on shaky ground even in his own electorate. Is that right?
Look, I hope that's right, and it's looking competitive in Mulgrave, but just to give you an example of, or to give you an idea of what kind of seat Daniel Andrews is, he's sitting on a primary vote after a recent redistribution of about 60%. So he would have to lose at least 10% on a primary basis in order to get anywhere close to losing, and even then the Green vote will probably preference him and top him up. That said, that as is often the case in leaders' seats, especially when you have a leader as diabolical and divisive as Dan Andrews is, there are a lot of candidates entering the fray. There are a lot of independents and minor party candidates like the Victorians Party and the Freedom Party and so on. They are organised, they seem well financed, they are certainly motivated. So with the right preferences, you never know. The other thing to know about Mulgrave is it is not a dead red Labor seat like somewhere like a Werribee or a St Albans or something would be. It's sort of in that battler middle ground, and the primary vote that Dan Andrews has I think is at a bit of a high watermark because of the enormous swing Dan Andrews got last time. Finally, Mulgrave is the kind of seat where there would be a lot of people who may have supported Dan Andrews last time or historically, but now are less inclined to do so because Mulgrave is one of those seats where lockdowns would have hurt particularly hard. So I'm not going to put a bet down just yet on Mulgrave against Dan Andrews, but I am quietly hopeful, and in politics you never know.